guys, MrCoachDJ here, and I'm back ready to make some more bonsai videos. It's been about a year, maybe a little bit over a year since my last video, and a lot's gone on, and I just haven't really been in a zen place to really get into my gardening and get back into my bonsaiing. And as you can see back here, I have my new setup from previous here in my backyard, trying to get things together, and it's a beautiful day towards the end of winter here in the valley. I decided it'd be a good time to get back into doing my bonsais. Unfortunately, I came out here ready to go and haven't really been taking care of my tools. And most all of my tools are all rusted, and I can't really do too much work right now. I do have one pair of my scissors that aren't too bad. They just need to be cleaned off a little bit. These aren't too bad. But for the most part, everything I have is rusted, and I shouldn't be bonsaiing until I get those all cleaned up. So what I decided to do is I wanted to test this out on one of my tools and use some WD-40 to get the rust off. So I already got it started. It's been recommended to use a flex stone. I do have like an eraser that I use to sharpen my blades, clean the sap off and stuff like that. So I'm gonna use this on one tool, and then I'm also gonna use WD-40 on another. And then hopefully I can get everything all cleaned up and be able to start making bonsais so you can enjoy those videos. So let's take a look at what we got. All right, so I have one set of my tools. I kind of sprayed some WD-40 on maybe a couple hours ago and let it sit. I didn't get any suggestions or recommendations for that, but I just decided to let it, try that out, see how it works. But just to kind of give you an idea, this is kind of how most of them are. They're all kind of got this rust all the way through, right? It's happened because I left the tools outside, and I can barely even open these. I left the tools outside, and it was raining here a lot in the valley, and I just kind of got pretty lazy with them, and didn't really go outside to go bring my tools in or get them covered up, and they got all wet, and then they got rusted. So this tool that was, as you can see, like the rest of the tools I have this like pretty much amount of rust. This one that's in here in the basin pretty much had the same amount of rust. You can see it's all on my fingers. So I'm gonna just wipe this off and just see where we are. Not using any, just a regular, some scratch cloth. I think this actually used to be was a handkerchief from my dog after his visit to the groomer. Like a little bandana around his neck. So, I mean, WD-40 is supposed to do its job, basically. Is what it's supposed to do. But as you can see, there's still like some rust here on the tip. So what I'm gonna do is now use my eraser stone and just kind of get the rest of this off. And I'll just do one side to do a comparison, basically. So you see how there's still a little bit of rust on this side. I pretty much got it all off on this side. Now, I know with this particular tool, I don't use this that often. So I did want to test the WD-40 on there and just kind of see what would happen. There's still rust all on the handles. So I'll scrape that off as well. But more for the sake of this video, obviously rust can get all this stuff off. As long as the mechanism, the blade parts and everything is taken care of, you should be fine. But obviously you don't want to have rust on your handles because they're always touching your hand. But for the sake of this video, I'll spare that for you guys doing the rest of the handle. But what I did want to show you, so it was recommended to get what's called a flex stone. The flex stone basically for the Japanese steel, to sand off your pieces, mainly because the stone
the flex stone all the way through as a stone, but I'd have to order that, and I just kind of, I guess, pressed for time because, like I said, I wanted to come out here and get this done. So what I did instead was I just went to Lowe's basically and grabbed this super sponge that has like the stone material on the outside. So this gator, and then this is basically, you can use it on these parts, but it's getting like that steel off. The thing is that these are actually black, so, and it's just coated a little bit because you can tell like this is that, it's that legit stuff. So it's coated a little bit, but it's starting to get the metal off. And I don't really want to do that too much because I don't want to take too much off of my steel here. But we'll just, what I can do, it's not a big deal on this part because this is, I'm not scraping off any, you know, paint or anything like that. So we'll give this a try too. So once you do get everything kind of scrubbed off, I do have some Koji oil that I do rub on my blades, you know, just to keep the steel lasting longer. So maybe that's why this one wasn't so bad, because I do use this one a lot and I do take care of this one a lot better. So what you want to do is get your Koji oil, Choji? Choji, it's probably Choji oil, and I want to use a little bit and just kind of, it's pretty much like that, and let's just give it a try. And you want to go, I know I started scrubbing it, but you don't really want to do that. You want to go with the blade. The rest's starting to come off. Some of this black that's on here on the blade, it's the tar. It's just kind of like old. So, like I said, I know you don't, going back and forth isn't really recommended, but I gotta get all this stuff off. So we'll just kind of, and then what I'll do is I'll keep cleaning it after use, and it should get back into more pristine. It should get back into more pristine shape, but as long as I can get it, you know, at least get the rust off, I should be able to get back to work. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of the rest of these. Again, like I said, I just wanted to show you, because now look, if I do it without the oil, and like I said, you don't really want to do this scrubbing back and forth, but I pretty much damaged a good layer of this, so I gotta get it all out. But I think what I'll do is I'll kind of put W40 on all of them, so I get all this rust off, and then wipe them down, and then go over the blades with the stone and using my oil just to get them all back in place. So while I let those sit, I'll work on this one that doesn't have the rust. Get my oil on there, and we'll just, oh. So like I said before, I kind of sorry for how I had keeping my tools intact, but this is really how it should look once they're done. And I'm gonna go ahead and go wipe these off and try to get them the best I can to these. I know what's more important. These are my main ones. These are my main scissors that I use, and then these will be my second ones. I use these the most though. And then these are just more for crimping like bigger branches and things like that. But this is definitely, these were my main ones. This is what I needed to be fixed. So should be able to be good from here. Well, I'm gonna get them all cleaned up. I'm gonna get these kind of focused on to sharpen the blade. Just let these sit for a couple more minutes and then get the cleaning. All right, so like I said, I get the rust off the blades. That's kind of what's more important for me right now. Just making sure that I'm still sharp. So just want to basically make sure that these work, right? These ones are, I'm making more like top cuts. I usually don't cut things this thick with these scissors, but obviously they still work. And then again, these are more what I use for thicker cuts, things like that. So they're still good. They still work. They're mechanical. Obviously, I need to get the rust off the handles because it's gonna be all over my hands. But that'll be a work in progress. But at least for now, I know getting the WD-40. Obviously, there's other, rust remover kits and tools and stuff that you can get. You can order online. But mostly everybody has WD-40. I've never seen really WD-40 to harm anything. But again, for my blades, I have my choji oil, so that if I need to resharpen them or have them where they need to be, I still have what I need here. So I don't really want to say finished product, but this is kind of the end result of today's task as far as using the WD-40, my sponge, and then following up with some choji oil on the blades. But like I said, my main set of scissors are they look like they've always looked, right? Brand new. I always clean off the sap as best as I can. So these are these are fine. These are intact. Same thing with these. Still some rust on the handle. It's not as bad, but over time, I'll, as I keep using them, I'll keep, trying to clean them up the best I can. It's still a work in progress. Same thing with these. These are more for, cutting my branches, kind of thicker branches, things like that. But the, mechanics of it's still good. Still got to get some of the rust off the handles. But as long as I'm keeping the blades clean, it's kind of like what's more important. And the same thing with this one, but I use this more for my wires. Putting wires on branches and things, just kind of getting them and twisting them. It's kind of, I don't use this much for, much else for anything like that. But, as I dabble a little bit more, I'll have more use for this. And then this has some rust on it too, but I just use this more like breaking up the soil off of the roots, kind of spreading the roots around, stuff like that. Not really too worried about this tool in general. This one, though, when I'm cutting bigger branches, I'm trying to be more careful, because if you can tell what it's for, right? Got a lot of the rust off. It's still got some issues here, but I was able to still, keep it sharp, kind of get on the inside. It's still a little tight, I'm still working with it as far as like opening and closing, but for the most part, I have the choji oil on here to kind of let it do its thing in there. But like I said, over time, I'll get some of this stuff off. But for the most part, it's fine for now. But now that I got all my tools kind of set up, or fixed up, and my eraser, my stone eraser to kind of keep the blade sharp and all that, I should be good to go. But now it's kind of towards the end of the day. But at least now I'm set up and ready to go, so I can get going on my bonsai videos.
But I hope you enjoy this. If you have any questions or you have any other comments or suggestions, please let me know. I'm not an expert, but definitely just kind of let me know what I need to do or if this helps. Obviously, some of these, like this Japanese steel, you would send it off, let somebody sharpen them, fix them for you, send them back. But, you know, that cost. And in some instances, if they're just so bad, right, just get some new tools. But I wanted to fix what I had with kind of some like general like household things you can get and just kind of see how it goes. And we'll just go from there. But thanks for watching. And as always, thank you for being coachable. Drink water.